Have any of you been following the Supreme Court justice proceedings, hearings?
Not even a little.
So I've tried to stay away from it because it's so contentious, and like either side, when they get their 30 minutes or so to question the nominee, they use it as this platform for whatever they're into.
Yeah.
But I did catch the one segment where the lady asked Ketanji, is that this brilliant person's name? Regardless, she asked her if she could define the word woman for her.
It's a tricky one.
And that was a tough one to crack.
Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Can I provide a definition?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
I can't.
You can't?
Not in this context.
So
I'm not a biologist.
The meaning of the word woman is so unclear and controversial that you can't give me a definition?
Because I had been watching this on YouTube, this guy who I'm guessing is a very conservative right-wing YouTuber type fella. I don't know. I did no research. Forgive me if I'm so off. But he's made an hour-long video where he traveled the entire planet, and he talked to African tribesmen with the bald heads. He talked to people in St. Petersburg Square, I think. He went to find what is a woman. And he got, the Africans are like, oh, this guy, they're laughing at him because he's so fucking stupid. He doesn't, I didn't watch any of his.
He did this in the last week.
I intend to go back to it.
I don't know how he got it.
No,
done, but
it's a thing he's been doing for a while.
Okay.
Because I believe the reason they asked this candidate the question is because it's something that that certain people have been using against certain people for a long time. Because it's very difficult question to ask, to answer, and not offend a lot of people. Yes, in America specifically, it is very hard to answer the question, what is a woman? I saw him put the mic in front of 4 women and ask them what a woman was, and they were terrified.
Wait, were they Americans?
Of course.
Okay. Well, you said he went around the world, so it wasn't obvious.
Oh, well, I don't know if they're Americans. They were pretty blonde white women, so I just assumed.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what I'd say either. I feel like I don't know how to answer that. It's tricky now. It wasn't previously.
The issue, I can answer it, but it requires more than a quick explanation by chromosomes or genitals. I have to say that and then say, but also, there's some people who, unfortunately, the first 2 rules didn't apply to by some cruel mix-up at the beginning of their lives.
Cruel mix-up.
Yeah, they feel like they didn't get the parts they ordered.
I'm answering I feel like that's how what you got to say. But there was some cruel mix-up in the womb, and this person should have had something, then they didn't end up with it. And but they're still a woman though, because men can get periods too.
So that was a big deal question from the whatever it's called, the Congress people asking it.
As Kyle mentioned, anytime there's a Supreme Court justice, it's not just now that there's a Democrat one. The same thing happened when Trump was president and the Democrats tried to attack his choices. That's what they do. They go up there and they try to pin them down with the issues they think the other side is vulnerable to. So there's a whole lot of critical race theory questions, biological questions like the one he mentioned, and I forget what else. But
it's a lot of flavor of the week, the Kavanaugh thing. It was right in the middle of Me Too, so that was the huge thing. Yeah,
I actually look at it through that lens,
it's like the final exam on your PR test. They want to see how good you are at deflecting, how good you are at not falling for a question. It's let's just lead with kindness and common sense.
No, there was one where I think Ted Cruz had this. I don't know anything about critical race theory because I can tell it will enrage me the more I learn about it. It's one of those things where when I watch a movie trailer and I see some cool shit, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna watch this. Anything else will only be a spoiler going forward. I want to buy it. It's rewind me 3 seconds.
You were talking about critical race theory and not knowing about it with Ted Cruz.
Ted Cruz pulls out this I guess book that's maybe at the center of some critical race theory controversy, and there's a bunch of babies in there, and the book puts forward that the white babies. There's some racist babies in this book, You know, and I don't
Wait,
mean
is this a
yes,
joke?
yes. There's no joking here, Taylor. This is the world we
No,
live in.
Taylor, these babies are racist.
They're
as
fucking
fuck.
racist ass babies.
It's not taught.
and he asked her, he's like, do you think that they're racist babies or something like that? And like this cunt like refuses to fucking do what we would love her to do and be like, I'm not an expert in babies nor literature, and I've never seen that book before. But no, of course I don't believe in racist babies. And that's all I care to say about it. And that book, Mr. Cruz. like that's what I'd say. Like I know you're trying to bait me into some sort of weird gotcha here, but no, I don't believe in racist babies. But
Yeah.
but
Well,
she doesn't
who
say
does
that.
believe in
You know,
racist babies?
she does.
Well,
I
no,
don't
it
think
wasn't.
they're
No.
arguing
She
with this one. I like.
well, she didn't because she never seen that book. I mean, I didn't even know that book was in existence. Is that like?
I'm
I
looking
just
for her exact quote, and I wish I could find it super fast, but
I
it
think
wasn't
she
too
believes
bad,
in racist
according to me.
babies.
Maybe I'm a liberal cuck or something, but she was like, "This isn't something that Supreme Court judges have to deal with. I've
I
never
wonder-
seen that book. That book has never crossed my desk in the courtroom, and I don't have an opinion on that book without having seen it or read it."
I wonder
is
if
how I
there-
recall.
yeah.
I
She's
wonder-
like, it's not my job to do. Like, you're asking me questions about. Why don't you, at the same time as you want me to answer this question, ask me about plumbing, something I also know nothing about or have read a manual on, right?
PVC, CPVC. You know,
Again-
that new stuff that like just clicks in.
Wait, say it again. I think I talked.
Kyle knows about plumbing. He's flexing on us.
Yeah, I'm flexing my plumbing knowledge. No, I as I was thinking about it while you guys were chatting, I was like, I bet babies are racist though. Like if you've got like a white baby who's like brand new and like continuously like imprinting everything like on this brand new fucking SSD drive that they got for a brain, like, and they have never seen a black guy, and they're like 8 months old, and all of a sudden a black dude walks in. Their brain is like, danger, danger, danger. It has to be, right?
On
Like,
a similar note, I wonder
you've never seen one.
I saw TikTok this morning, actually. Funny that you mentioned that, where, and it may have been fake, but it looked real enough for me to bring it up. There was this one white dude with a camera that met some tribe somewhere for the first time. That was the first white person that they had ever seen. And every single time the white dude went and you know the indigenous person touched him, he was every move that he made, he was like fucking apprehensive in that. Now it could have been the color of his skin, but it could have also been his attire, right? Like they've never seen fucking.
It's like it's
I've
a
got
novelty.
I've seen that too. It's
one is the
everything
quote.
there.
I have it correct now. She said, "Senator, I've not reviewed any of those books or any of those ideas. They don't come up in my work as a judge, which I'm respectfully here to address my work as a judge, which is evidence from my decade on the bench."
Yeah.
So
Great answer to a stupid question that shouldn't have been asked.
Yep.
And the other thing, Kyle was like, I wonder if babies are racist. I took it on a similar level. I wonder if other animals are racist. If we had a bunch of yellow labs and a chocolate lab came in, would they greet that chocolate lab
Well,
as
they're
a member of the
colorblind, so
pack?
no.
Oh, well, then that's not a good example.
Well,
What
no,
if we
but
made
I
them
think
something else?
colorblind, like,
Dogs
they
are the
can't see
least
red and
racist
green.
animals in the world. They only see black and white.
I think it's
does it happen in the animal kingdom? Do they like? Obviously, if you bring a bunch of labs and a
I
wolf
just realized
comes
how
in,
perfect that is.
That's a good one.
but yeah. Anyway, I wonder if animals are racist based on fur color.
I think they see more than black and white. I think they see like some like.
they just can't see. It's a regular colorblind. And I want to know this: who
Don't see
fucking said?
green.
Like how the fuck do they know? Like is there something that they're looking at an iris that you can determine by the lack of fucking little lines? Or like how do they know?
I'd be interested in this study. I'm gonna actually look
Yeah.
into it more because I don't like being.
Unless the baby's first word is, like, I think that
No,
they're just babies.
My
like
guess would
racism
be-
is always also a learned thing, right?
What
It's
if you had an
education
instance where you
thing.
had? I mean, you could easily do like some sort of like experiment, right? Where you just have a bunch of toddlers hang out in one of those little playpen like cage areas full of toys and shit, and you just you mix the races up a little bit, and you see how they pair off into groups, and like, holy shit, all the white kids like went over
I
here
don't
and
know.
like excluded the brown
I would-
kids.
you know,
I don't know. That's
I
more
would
for me.
imagine-
That's more personality, right? Like me, I'm super fucking outgoing. I'll say hi. to fucking everybody, right? Like no matter where we go. The wife, however, is a little bit more reserved and she's not as outgoing. So I think babies that are outgoing are going to chill with people who aren't as outgoing or as outgoing. You know what I mean? So that
but we're being scientific about the sex. We're not just doing one study group of 10 toddlers.
No, we're making up
thousands of toddlers. And every time we injected a black toddler, they segregated it off to the side. And
is that what happened? Wait, what are you talking about? Are you talking about an actual study?
No, I'm making this up as I go.
No.
This is pure fabrication.
Have you ever seen the show Dave Chappelle and when they switched the house rules, right? Where they had a no, I wasn't talking about what the fuck's up. Anyway, I was talking about where they do like road rules, right? Like they had the house, the real world, right? But it was it was all blacks and then one white dude. So like that, it's it depends obviously how you fucking grew up too, right? Like it's.
But they don't grow up. That's the point. They haven't been imprinted on anything. They're infants. They shouldn't have like preconceived notions about.
They wouldn't act that way.
But you know what? Act that way. That's the point of the critical race theory book that Ted Cruz is holding up.
Anecdotally, I think that I'm with Hex. I feel like babies and people don't start acting racist until they're 5th grade.
It's a learned behavior.
Yeah.
It sounds like a more like distinct line I see with kids because a lot of my friends are having young kids. Like,
is it a learned behavior to be afraid of snakes and spiders?
It's a boy-girl divide when a bunch of kids get together. It seems like when there's a bunch of young kids hanging out because like they seem to like all the boys go do the boy thing, all the girls do like that's the line that it seems to divide more than race.
I have a thing about that.
It depends on the age. Like at very young ages, it's completely mixed. I don't think there's a shift there until like 7 or 8. Like
even younger. I remember at like 2 or 3. Hope had a bunch of guy friends, right? And then she's 2 or 3. Don't get it twisted. And those boys were like wild Indians. They were screaming around the house. The layout of our Apex house was that there was like a stairwell and you could run in a circle around the steps. That was like the floor plan. So they're zipping around, just yelling and screaming or whatever. Hope is on the steps, putting a hat on them as they go by, taking the hat off, putting on the other one, right? She was just way more chill as a girl than the boys were. And anecdotally, that's my experience. The boys were just revved up.
Oh, it's not even like like I said, a lot of my friends are having kids, and like all the friends I have with daughters who are like 3, 4 are like having conversations with the ones with the sons and being like, oh, you guys have it so hard. That little boy's running around. Look at my little Susie. She's just playing on the iPad doing this. And, the boy parents are like, well, yours are going to get harder in the future. We're getting our horrible years out of the way early on. So, like,
and I should note, like, I don't know, I'm saying it weird, but like, I didn't raise Hope to be like girly. Like I didn't focus on tea sets and dolls and shit like that. Like, I didn't focus on just girl things, and that's just she just was a girl.
Yeah that it's weird how that happens.
Still is actually. I phrased it weird.
But it still is a girl.
It's weird. It's like you've got a girl and she just likes to do like traditionally girly things, and I don't know who's been exposing her to this nonsense, this propaganda that she should like dolls. She just does. We think it's a mental illness we're working on.
It might be a
psyop.
To like Tonka trucks, I just liked Tonka trucks.